Hi, I'm Martha Post. I was born in Bartow, Florida, but when I was 3 years old, my family moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and then we moved to Decatur, where I grew up, and I went to Mercer University, met my husband there, and then we came down here to be with my grandmother, and my son was born down here, and then the other son was born, so I'm a grandmother now and a great-grandmother, so that's my life really in a capsule. When I was in high school or in junior high, I loved doing art. We had poster contests and things like that, which I would enter. But I always loved to draw, but my real interest was sports. I was into basketball on the basketball team, made all region on the basketball team. I played on the tennis team. We played softball. So I was really into sports. And I went to Mercer University, Baptist College, and played sports there. The Bartow Art Guild started having the Bloomin' Art Show. They had the first one over here by the Wells Fargo Bank, is now. They had it around the porch. So I entered that with some things I was doing in acrylics. I liked the artwork of an artist named Charles Wysocki. He had calendars, and also I was enthralled with the artwork of Grandma Moses, and I had her book. So I started doing pictures like that of Bartow and Polk County, and became quite good at it because it was fun just painting the big pictures of the scenes, and put all the little houses. I had to research all the buildings that I wanted to put in, like early Bartow. One I did, the first one, it's Main Street, and the courthouse is there, and in the background are the other buildings, the fire station, the Baptist church, and then further on back in the scene, an old picture I found in one of the books of people would get off the train. It would stop by the orange grove, and the people would get off and pick up oranges off the ground and all the trees. So I put that back there, and also some of the Brahma cattle that we had back then. So that one sold and did real good. Then I got some commissions to do one of the Lakeland area, and that was the school, old school building in the foreground with the little children coming to school. And I went and researched some more, and I found out that the school bus was like a little mail wagon. The horse was pulling this great big carriage, and that was the school bus. And on back in, I had Munn Park with the guys playing softball or baseball back in there. Then behind that, in the distance, was the train station, and the train from up there with the Lakeland train station, which I also did in pen and ink. I was watching television, and I had trouble doing the details in my acrylics for the buildings and things. And a man was teaching watercolor, and I said, wow, he's doing a lot of things I can do with watercolor and acrylics, change them around. So I started taking lessons from a lady in Lakeland, got started with my watercolors, and eventually started studying on my own, books and watercolor books, and just taking more workshops and things like that. And so when the Bloomin' Art Show started offering the Best Historical Award as one of the awards for the Bloomin' Arts, I researched more of the buildings, and I picked the old courthouse and painted a picture of that in watercolor, and it won the award. So I was very excited, and I guess that might have been the start of my real interest in the historical buildings that I've become familiar with, and also love painting and drawing. A lot of the early works I did in pen and ink, and some I did convert to watercolors because I'd already had the drawings done. So that was my first part, or first experience with the researching the Polk Historical Library. That got me started, and also in looking through there, I found the picture of the, it was called the South Florida Military Academy. So I did a painting of that, and which led to a later painting that I did just recently of the building. What are my favorite pieces? Boy, there are so many. Of course, I love doing houses, buildings. I like doing castles. I've got some old castle pictures I've done. I love doing historical pictures because of the history behind them and the people that built them. We had an exhibition at Tate Phillips Hardware many, many, many years ago. And in the window was my picture of my grandmother and granddaddy and my mother when she was a year old, which I'll be exhibiting next month in the January exhibit. And people love that picture. I did it in sepia tones, which makes it look, you know, an older picture.